Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
You feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Here we are back on a Friday night, and for race number 7 of the 9 weeks. The night time is the right time, and this week, for this configuration, the Craftsman Truck Series is going to take over in this 1.5 mile oval. Live from the virtual Kansas Speedway, it's the Addison Bridges 105, the Track Champion Series.
You got a minute?
I am live. What's up? Mama Teresa in the booth with me right now.
I will text you. Thank you.
Okay. So Mama Teresa stopped by there for just a brief second, but you're familiar with everyone here from the Track Champion Series and VRX, MTR, Admin Box, and Superior Performance, everyone that makes this possible. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper. Been here for the first 6 races, about to present our 7th. It's the night time here for the Addison Bridges 105. Tonight's memorial race dedicated to Addison Bridges, and unfortunate early time there in life, but we look forward to what the Track Champion Series can present us. Roughneck Racing Network, thank you for being in here as well. Race analysis and track map coming up on your screen. Open June 1st, as we've seen before. The 17 degrees of banking in this 4-corner tri-oval, the 1.5 mile in Kansas City, Kansas. Of course, we're no stranger to that. What we will be a stranger to is the lights will be on from the very start. 70 laps here tonight. Pit road speed limit, of course, 45 miles per hour and 50% fuel. We need to get a quick word here with Matt Ace Baker, or Barker, rather. We get an opportunity to pull in somebody that I have not talked to before. So we have Matt Ace Baker up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, Matt, I was informed that you were friends with Addison, friends with the family, I take it at one point. This race tonight dedicated to Addison Bridges, and this has been a common thing. A lot of people remember him, and it looks pretty special out there with all those cars, with those trucks painted the way they are.
Yeah, it definitely is special. He was a special little guy. He definitely touched so many people. I'm just a lucky one to be a part of it and know his dad. Me and his dad's are real good friends. Played softball for many years together. Taking beach trips, stuff like that together. So this is very special night tonight. We'll definitely be racing with a tender heart tonight.
I'm looking back here during the warm-ups, we were doing I believe 4 wide there on the front straightaway, and as far as dedication to memorial races, and everyone out here in an identical paint scheme tonight as well.
Yeah, it's definitely unique tonight, and we just want it to be special and put on a good show for everyone tonight. And definitely remember who we're racing for tonight.
Well, Matt, if there's anyone else that you'd like to shout out here, I know we've got some of family in here watching as well. You can go ahead and do that.
Definitely want to shout out Ashley and Addison and that whole family tonight. I do have a few sponsors, James Wagner's Welding, but tonight's about them tonight. I don't want to shout out too many because I want tonight to be about them.
Well, Matt, we appreciate that, and we appreciate you coming in here to the booth to speak with us. Good luck tonight out there as well, and maybe we'll get to talk to you post-race.
Yes, sir.
It's Matt Ace Barker up here in the booth with us as we get set to go trackside. So let's go ahead and do so. Get that grid up on your screen. Starting on the pole here tonight with a 30.670. It's John Sanu in the number 86 with his first pole. Bill Daniels is going to start to his outside. 16 one-thousandths of a second separating these two cars. Sorry, I had to do a little math there for a moment. Row number 2 is going to belong to Brian Hennings for the start. Dakota Floyd in the 4th position. Then it's 5th spot, Philip Brewer. Morgan Cook, 2 points out from the lead. He will start in 6th. Points leader Brian Hennings just a row ahead of him. John Hudson's going to start in 7th with Clyde Barker. We just talked to Barker there a moment ago. PJ Cox in 9th, and rounding out your top 10, Casey Ellis in the number 35. Wade Palmer and Jared Upker, 11th and 12th position. Then row number 7 with David the Collinator Collins. Logan Watering will start at 14. Greg Spiker in the number 10 will start in 15th with Greg Pillar in 16th. Benjamin Richards, 17th position. Teresa Spiker will start in 18th. Renee Hasp and Robert Stanners making his first VRX appearance. In all these races that VRX has hosted, this is his first live broadcasted event, so I want to say hi to Robert. Maybe we'll get to talk to him as well. Tony Richards, our track steward for the night, going to go out there and run a couple laps here. And Edward Fiedler is going to start in 22nd position. Daniel Lyle will round out your 23 truck field here today. And the command to start the engines here as we get set to pace around this place. While we do pace, though, we are extending this intro to this race. We're going to dedicate a lap here to Addison Bridges, 3 wide, for an entire lap around Kansas. his family, and he will be remembered. I know VRX has constantly brought his name up, and of course these paint schemes here, a unique look. A lot of cracker boats, Bass Pro Shop themed machines out here tonight. I'm sure we'll get a few opportunities here to get a good look at this. See everybody out here, the variety of different themes. Johnson up on the point. We should get the 1 to go signal now. We'll get set to start off week number 7 with the Truck Series. Johnson will be the command truck here on this green flag. Bill Daniels will be to his outside. Reminder here on the top 10 with Hennings, Floyd, Brewer, Cook, Hudson, Barker, Cox, and Ellis. Back to 10th. It's leader. Gonna start there on the inside of row 2. Ryan Hennings has not gotten a victory yet. Johnson first time on the pole. Could it be his night or somebody else be a first-time winner here from Kansas? All 9 races will be hosted here. These final 3 under the lights. Weather coming up on your screen here. I'm sure it's a calm and cool night. 71 degrees track temperature. Well, you have good odds there, Adam. Excellent odds there. But here we go for week number 7. The Track Champion Series at Kansas Speedway is live and racing. Johnson from the pole will lead lap number 1, but he's under a heavy fire from Brian Hennings and Morgan Cook, who's worked his way up 4 positions already down the backstretch. Big move there by Brian Hennings on the exit of turn 2. He had a good run down the back straightaway. Wasn't able to go anywhere, though, with Morgan Cook on the inside. Cook played defense there through 3. He will take over the 2nd spot, just in front of Hennings. Battle for the 5th position. Clyde Barker on the outside of Dakota Floyd. He'll take over 5th. Looks like Floyd gonna dive to the inside here. Oh, into the wall there for Barker. Now 3 wide across the tri-oval. He'll lose 2 spots here in the entry of 1. Almost some contact with Hudson. Meanwhile, 2nd position heats up again. Hennings to the outside of Morgan Cook. Hennings taking the high line through the entry of turn 3. Almost contact between the 51 and the 74 when they exit that corner. Sanu continues to lead 2 by 2 at several different parts of this race. Parker back on the offense. Floyd heading out on the bottom. Jennings and Cook continue to go back and forth, drag racing out of the corners. Cook backs off to third. Everyone progressing up to this high line. So it seems to have single filed out a little bit here. But if I'm John Sanu right now, I gotta feel threatened because the 74 of Hennings just had a massive run out of turn 4. Doesn't cut down on the triangle. We have a caution flag. It appears Ed Fiedler possibly involved in this one. Damage on the right rear. There, just a little touch from Philip Brewer. Slides up, makes contact with the outside wall. Does a pretty tremendous job of saving it, though. Doesn't let it roll back down into traffic. Unfortunately, though, that will break up our green flag run here on lap number 6. So this is the opportunity for some of these drivers to play strategy. A few takers down pit road. You see Morgan Cook in the 51. Clyde Barker. PJ Cox as well as Greg Pillar. Jared Epker. All coming down pit lane. Hopping off of the fuel there for the 51. John Sanu will remain your leader. Well, we have an opportunity here. Let's say we pull Rob Stanners into the V-Speed booth. Do you got a copy?
10-4. How's it going, Bradley?
Well, Robert, it's your first appearance here in the VRX live broadcasted event.
It is. Yeah, good
So
stuff.
I heard you were a little nervous here tonight.
Well, I was, just because Kansas isn't a track I typically visit. So, and my first broadcast, I wanted to do a good appearance. But for Addison, this is what it's all about. So I thought it was important to support the team and be here, because this is it's cool when this is the kind of thing virtual racing and the esports community brings. This is pretty neat. So this one's for Addison. That's all I can say.
That's quite the drive that you've got started so far. You started back in 20th position. You've worked your way just outside the top 10 up to 11. How's that thing feel out there?
Feels pretty good, actually. Yeah, it's tight, responsive. Just trying to stay out of trouble and stay out of people's way. Like I say, I'm slowly finding that groove, and no, it feels good.
Just be careful that high line. You know how it is. Everybody's going to work their way up there eventually.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, we appreciate your time, Rob. Anybody you'd like to shout out before we let you go?
Just for the community and Addison and the family. Our hearts are with you.
Rob Stanners currently in 11th position. We get set to restart for the second time. Top 10 hasn't changed hands too much, but up 7 spots for Logan Water in the 75. And just behind him, Greg Spiker and Greg Pillar have gained 7 spots all respectively here. To the top 10 on the lower half here, 7th through 9th. Pretty tight. 10 spots here for Daniel Lyle as well. He is so far the biggest mover of the race. Morgan Cook, who started outside, he's gonna outside the top row, I believe, or actually in the 3rd row outside. He's topping off with fuel again here as they double back up. So He's playing a little fuel strategy with the 50% fuel. It's going to be a stretch here. 60 laps, that's pushing it. But he could afford to have fresher tires. In the past 2 weeks here, Jeff Wright, 2 victories in a row. And that 51 battled him hard in last week's race. They went back and forth for 15 laps. If you have a chance to go back and check that race, I would highly, highly recommend it. So here we go, pace truck out of the way. John Sanu, Brian Hennings on the front row. They're going to battle it out again. Green flag is out. Second time at Kansas. A great jump there for John Sanu. He pulls out about 0.3 of a second. Bill Daniels up to third. He had fallen back a little bit there briefly, but back up to almost where he started this race. Currently in the third spot, challenging for second. On the high line there for Hudson. Watering. Oh, we got a truck loose back here. It's the 44 Brewer. And Stanners to the bottom in the 007 inside of Greg Pillar for an 8th spot. Greg Spiker on the high line. Very tight here coming off of turn 2. Anders on that low line. Doesn't get quite the run out of the corner. Gonna send it to the bottom at 3 and 4 to try to clear the 32. Meanwhile, in front of him, side-by-side battle with the 75 of Logan Wateren. The 24 Floyd gets by, and he'll move up to the 5th spot. Check it back here with Teresa Spiker. Morgan Cook just behind her. Benjamin Richards starting to get back into form. Back up to 17th now, but a long way to go. A lot of 2x2 action as they come out of the corner. Brian Hennings, though, takes over the lead from John Sanu there just a moment ago. How about that for the 74? Missed the pass for the lead. We'll have to back it up here on a quick instant replay. Take a look. He's going to complete this pass out of turn 4. We'll back it up a little bit more than that. They were challenging through 1 and 2 as well, so this has been a minute. I'd like to apologize to Brian. Let's see where he gets this run. Carry a lot of momentum out of turn 4. Gonna get the nose here on the advantage. Looks like he's gonna carry this into 3. 86 of Sanu actually got into the wall, and Henning said, I want the high line, and took it. Back to the live shot. Daniels gets around Sanu as well. Still having some side-by-side back here with the 96. Barker on the outside, Greg Spiker on the inside in the 10. And Spiker gets really tight there out of the exit of 4. Almost has Wade Palmer dive to the inside. A lot of passing going on here. This cool track helping these trucks turn. for the 10th spot as Barker tried to get by Stanner. Stanner closes the door to the entry of 1. 35 of Casey Ellis is going to work by Greg Pillar for the 8th position. Stanners maintains the top 10. Dakota Floyd on the hunt now. He gets by Bill Daniels. Sanu gets back around up to 2nd. Trying to chase down Brian Hennings, who's pulled out 7/10 of a second. Almost 8/10 as they cross that line. About to be completed here. That puts us right at the 30-mile mark, and with 50% fuel, these trucks probably going to be able to go about 25 to 28 laps on a stint. So we're within 7 laps, 8 laps of our fuel window, unless, of course, you're Morgan Cook, who came back down pit road. There's a few others like Barker, Wade Palmer, Jared Epker. A few of these trucks came in and topped off. So they're in a little bit better scenario to stretch this run to maybe the halfway point. But a few of these other drivers, they're probably going to have to make 2 stops. So that was probably the strategy all along for a lot of these guys that gave up track position. Checking back here with Morgan Cook running in the 17th spot. Just behind Teresa Spiker. The 707 of David Collins. PJ Cox actually has a connection issue there in the 05. Waiting for him to reappear. Doesn't appear like his connection's going to cooperate here. Morgan Cook through the middle. Heavy contact there, and even more contact behind. Daniel Lyles sends it into turn 1. Gets right to the door of Morgan Cook. Heavy door contact there. Cook's still trying to figure out a way to get around the 70 of Spiker and the 707. The battle for second place heated back up there. Briefly contact with the 707. David Collins holds on to it. Fireworks continue. Dwindles down now to under half a second. The 74 of Hennings has led what will be 14 laps here, but out of turn 4, not a good run. He's about to be challenged for the lead. 2 trucks. The 24 of Floyd, the 86 of Sanu, your pole sitter, trying to take back the point. As for the lead, just in front of Sanu, Floyd to the bottom in 3 and 4. Hennings tight on the high line. And a new leader, Dakota Floyd, for the first time today. Floyd kind of picking his way through this top 3. Cinched his way back up front. We've seen the 24 lead some laps previously, but still yet to get a victory in the Track Champions Series. Likewise for John Sanu. The 86 started on the pole. He's fallen back a little bit here, but since rebounded, they get back around Hennings. Here comes Philip Brewer for 3rd. He'll take the high line through the tri-oval. Can he carry this into 1? No, Hennings shuts the door, dives it down into turn 1, all the way to the bottom. A little slide job maneuver to the high line. So we're right at that pit road window. Renee Hasp has come down to service his machine. Robert Stanners just came off of pit road there a moment ago. Ryan Hennings down to his pit stall. Down and away for Greg Spiker. Dakota Floyd comes out of turn 4. Looks like John Hudson a little off the pace. Maybe going to hit pit road here this time by. He will. A few other takers. Teresa Spiker is around. Misses pit road. And the yellow flag's going to come out. With the 70. Loses control there on the transition to the apron. Tries not to take it back on the racing surface. Unfortunately, well under speed there before getting below that yellow line. iRacing throws the yellow. Second caution of the night comes out on lap 30. We're just commencing green flag pit stops. So this should bring everybody down pit road. At the very least, topping off with fuel. Morgan Cook had worked his way up to around the 5th or 6th position. After this had all cycled through. Dakota Floyd first one to the box. It's gonna be a tight battle off of pit road. And Johnson who regained that front spot. Down and away for the 24, down and away for the 86. Tight. I believe Floyd got it though. So Casey Ellis will become the leader. Oschenfeld in favor of the 35. He had just entered pit road, did not go a lap down. John Hudson just behind him will restart in 2nd spot. Hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast. If you are, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And we will continue coverage for the second half of this race. The Addison Bridges 105, the Track Champions Series here at Kansas.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live from Kansas Speedway. The Addison Bridges 105 is at the halfway point. When we go back green, 34 laps will be completed as we take our third restart. So far, new cautions and 2 lead changes. Dakota Floyd will be the command truck when we take it into turn 1. Race number 7. 22 trucks out here on the racetrack now. Pace truck's going to get out of the way as we get set to go back green flag racing. Perfect opportunity since we're at the halfway point to find the volume knob, that remote control, whatever smart device you're using. And let's get loud here on B-Speed. So with that, I hope you're not in trouble with your neighbors. Didn't get the police called on you. We always have a Get Loud segment right around the halfway point here on B-Speed. Morgan Cook up to second position. Your pole sitter fighting for third with the 43. They make contact in the entry of turn 3. Wade Palmer on the inside of Johnson New. Palmer's going to clear. He's going to go after Morgan Cook. Palmer with a big run here out of 2 or out of 4. He'll take it into turn 1, 3 wide. The pinch down on John Sanu. Sanu holds it down. And here comes Floyd trying to break the wake here for the 43 with a big run on the high line. Another pinch here for the 43. John Sanu sideways through 3 and 4 trying to save it. He will. What a save there by John Sanu in the 86. He's on board with John Sanu there briefly. Things getting a little crowded here from 5th position back to about 9th. Jared Epker on the outside of Casey Ellis. Ellis has PJ Cox just behind him. Philip Brewer, Clyde Barker, Bill Daniels in this mix as well. Meanwhile, Wade Palmer is going to the outside of the 24, trying to take away the lead. Palmer very aggressive there with Sanu, pinching down in the corner, and I'm sure that the Polson are not very happy with that move. The 43 gets into the wall there out of the exit of 4. Where did this guy come from? Up to 4th now. Benjamin Richards on the hunt. Into the top 5 for the first time today. 56 goes to the inside of Morgan Cook for the top 3. He'll dive into the bottom. He will clear Morgan Cook for that position. Sets his sights on Wade Palmer and Dakota Floyd. "44 laps about to be completed, 43 and a half now. On board with PJ Cox. Briefly had the lead, actually led the first 3-4 weeks of the points. Had one mistake there, one race go bad for him. Lost that points lead. He's since fallen back a little bit here. And another top 10 streak has started. And the 0-5 maintaining that. Currently in 7th spot, passing for 6th. Epker might get a 2-for-1 here with Ellis to the top 5. Wade Palmer at it again here on the back bumper of Dakota Floyd. Slight little bit of right front damage on that 43. Doesn't seem to be affecting him right now. You can see there, trying to keep some clean air on the nose. He loses a lot of ground, so having to stay in the wake of the 24. Probably preventing him from getting around. Meanwhile, Richards creeping and tiptoeing his way towards this top 2. About half a second back from the 43. Well on his way. But here in about 10 laps or so, you'll probably see our final round of pit stops. If we make it to that mark of lap 53 or so, you might see some guys split the run in half. They have enough fuel right now to make it to lap 58. That's being rather conservative, but I'd have to think we'll have some takers. We got 3 wide back here. John Sanu trying to come back up to the top 3. Epker up into the wall. PJ Cox stuck in the middle. Casey Ellis still trying to keep a position. He has Sanu push him in the entry at 3. Another 3 wide situation here for Sanu. Peeks to the bottom of Ellis, out of 2. Casey Ellis losing a lot of time, a lot of ground here in the closing laps. And unfortunately for John Sanu, unless we get a caution, it looks like he will not be able to get back up there to where he started this race. The contact with Wade Palmer just a moment ago. Standards now pit road. Brian Hennings as well. Bill Daniels. David Collins. Battles all over this racetrack. Here is Richards, I believe. The 56 might have made a mistake. He was up there at third just a moment ago. Morgan Cook going to look to the inside of Wade Palmer. He'll clear for that position, get up to second. Palmer fights back a little bit here on the high line. While this is happening, Floyd has pulled out almost a full second. And Morgan Cook chasing down before green flag pit stops. I venture to say that one of these two drivers is going to have to blink first when it comes to pit road. And it has to be perfect for Floyd. He doesn't want to give up this ground. Floyd notorious, though, for staying out as long as they can on the run, but they will be short on fuel. Excuse me. Guaranteed there. Have to make one more stop. On board with Morgan Cook. Remember, he pitted, got himself back in about the 16th, 17th position. We had rode on board with him a little bit earlier. Excuse me. Having a problem with the voice today. Doing a lot of carpentry work, and I think sanding that drywall is catching up to me. Bill Daniels, Brian Hennings, David Collins, Logan Water, and Bob Standers, Craig Spiker have all come down pit road. We're right at that line now. About 2 laps left on this stint. The top 3 have spread out. A full second and a half back here to Wade Palmer in third. Philip Brewer in the 4th spot. Benjamin Richards, top 5 day for the 56 machine. John Sanu has worked his way back up to 6th. Sanu is 3.2 seconds back. Oh, contact! Richards is around. Caution is out. And big contact with Hudson. And Benjamin Richards' day might be done. Here's the aftermath with Hudson, nowhere to go. Let's watch here on the entry. It looked like maybe the 56 was checking up for Wade Palmer and didn't report the pit road. John Sanu had no clue the 56 may be coming in. Taking on board here with the 3 truck. He gets a lot of damage from this. While we were watching that replay, close battle off of pit road. We'll take a quick look at that as well. Floyd wins the battle off pit road, but it was tight. Watch how close here at the line. By about half a truck there. Across that stripe, Philip Brewer is going to take over the third spot. John Sanu back into the top 5. But looks like Sanu maybe came back in. I'm not entirely sure what happened to the 86. I think he got an EOL penalty for this. So John Sanu going in reverse here. After gaining all those spots, he'll go back to the longest line. So a lot going on here, but we do have an opportunity to pull another driver up into the booth. This is our chance here. Pull Dakota Floyd in the 24. You got a copy?
I hear you, Bradley.
Well, Dakota, you're out front. You've got clean air. We've seen this before from the 24. You've got some hungry teammates behind you. What's it going to take to finish this thing off?
Wide open, Bradley. Wide open, and hope it sticks.
I can see here that we're going to have about a 10-lap shootout when we double back up. No save here for this. I know that you've been in these situations before. I've even seen you take 2 tires in some of these spots and snag a victory. So anybody want to shout out here maybe before we get you in victory lane?
Well, shout out to everybody watching. I hope we're about to put on a really good show for y'all, so hold on to your seats.
Go to Floyd in the number 24. He'll be the command truck here for this restart. Appreciate your time, buddy.
Thanks, Brad.
The Morgan Cook going to start on the outside. I would venture to say that Dakota Floyd, even though their teammates probably not going to count this one down for him, he'll have 9 laps when we go green to maintain this lead. We do have 2 green-white checkers here, so if we get within 3-4 laps to go, the race will be extended for an additional 3 laps. We'll explain that if we make it to that point. For now, let's see if we can go in our scheduled distance of 70 laps, 105 miles. Dakota Floyd just has to do it 9 more times. Green flag is out. Back live and racing at Kansas. Greg Pillar, Edward Fiedler up into the top 5 for this restart. Everyone to the bottom. Wide open here. Brewer gets around Cook. Not a good restart for the 51. Everyone fans out down the backstretch. Brewer to the outside. Going to try to take the run into turn 3 and pass for the lead. Two 1/1000ths of a second there for Floyd. Barely leads that lap. Brewer in a little bit of contact there. Now has Morgan Cook back on the back bumper. Side by side behind him for the 5th spot. 911 of Daniel Lyle. 66 of Fiedler. Epker also in this hunt. Officially, though, Philip Brewer going to take the point. They cut the tri-oval, almost contact, and Floyd going to surge back. They make door contact. Oh, it's tight here off of turn 2. Using every inch of the racetrack, and Floyd opening up the entry so he can go to the bottom with a little bit of momentum and try to hold his ground against the 44. Morgan Cook waiting patiently in the shadows for maybe a surge in the last 2 or 3 laps. Floyd and Brewer burning up their stuff here at the end. By a nose down the backstretch for the 44 of Brewer. They're going to touch doors again. Floyd holding it down near the white line, trying to keep it. He's going to lose connection there briefly. And Dakota Floyd has disappeared. He's going to reappear here. Slight connection interruption. Floyd leads that time by 5 laps to go when they cross the stripe. Here we go into turn 1. Still side by side. This is a look on board with Morgan Cook in the 51. He's slowly working his way back towards these two. Wow, Floyd takes him all the way up to the high line through the tri-oval. Intense battle with 4 laps to go. Floyd, Brewer, back and forth. Caution is out. Casey Ellis is around, and a big crash behind with the 75 of Logan Waterin, the 00. No, that's this. I believe that's the 70 of Teresa Spiker back out on the racetrack. She's involved. And Waterin's truck is totaled. Greg Spiker, there's a simultaneous incident there. Greg Spiker gets into the back of the 75. Watch this one more time. David Collins down there on the bottom, the 07. Renee Haskell. This puts us into green-white checkered territory, but you can see right there, Collinator gets the 35 of Casey Ellis, who wasn't even really directly in that incident. Teresa Spiker was just coming off of pit road after getting a lot of damage repaired. And so not quite sure how she didn't have time to slow down for this. The 75 fails to lock it down and slides all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. Not Teresa's fault at all. Trying to dodge that crash, not knowing where the 75 is going to go, and Logan Waterin comes all the way down to the apron. I got to go back here and look at what happened to the 35 of Ellis. David Collins maybe knew he was 3 wide and came down into him. Back this up on the blimp camera. Well, it's official. We're going into overtime for our first attempt here tonight. Let's go out on the pace truck next time by. There's another chance here on V-Speed to take a quick commercial break. You're watching the Addison Bridges 105 in the Track Champion Series here from Kansas. More coverage right after this.
I played a couple of simulators, and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff. The motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving. It feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
Back live for the Addison Bridges 105. We have extended this race 3 laps. We're going to take the green flag, race 1 lap. If the leader makes it back to the white flag, the race is official. We'll have 2 attempts here tonight. Great start there for Floyd, and an even better start for Cook. He's going to take it to the outside in 1, and all over the back bumper of Dakota Floyd. Lock on Brewer down the backstretch. 3 wide for the lead. Morgan Cook going to take the high line. We're going to come around, but a crash in the background. We might not make it. White flag in the air. Side by side for the lead. Cook, does he have anything for Dakota Floyd? One more try at it. The Addison Bridges 105. Dakota Floyd is going to get his first victory in the Track Champion Series. Dakota Floyd is your winner at Kansas. Morgan Cook tried everything he could to make that 24 go to the high line, so he'd have an advantage going into 3, but the door never opened up. Floyd protected the bottom. And there he is. After a couple runner-ups here this season, finally the 24 finds his way to victory lane. Post-race interviews with your top 3 and those final results. While we gather that information, we're going to take another quick commercial break. I know we just had one just a few seconds ago, but I do have to gather up all of that information. We'll be bringing you your top 3 and your victor for race number 7. You're watching the Track Champion Series live on V-Speed.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live from Kansas Speedway. Track Champion Series has concluded its 105 laps plus 3 laps here tonight. We get set to bring you those final results. Dakota Floyd, who started in 4th position with 4 cautions and 4 lead changes, the 24 will be victorious in his first victory here in this season. Morgan Cook with another podium finish. Good chance here that the 51 is going to take over that points lead after tonight. Your points leader, Brian Hennings, finished back in 11th here tonight. Philip Brewer is going to get a top 3 with Daniel Lyle in 4th. Greg Pillar, I believe his best finish here in the Track Champion Series, with a 5th place. Daniel Lyle also a great finish. Jared Epker going to get 6th spot. John Sanu, your pole sitter, he's unfortunately going to be out of this top 5 back in 7th. Bill Daniels in 8th. Edward Fiedler, a top 10 day. Clyde Barker will round out your top 10. Brian Hennings will finish in 11th with Greg Spiker in 12th. Got back on the lead lap there with that late caution. David Collins is going to finish 13th. Rob Stanners in his first VRX appearance live on B-Speed, 14th. PJ Cox, he's going to finish in 15th with Renee Hasp in 16th position. Casey Ellis heavily damaged 5 laps down. He'll finish in 17th. Logan Watern also damaged. He'll finish 18th. Teresa Spiker, tough day for her. She'll finish in 19th position. And that top 20 goes to John Hudson in the number 3. That truck was totaled. Benjamin Richards in 21st. Wade Palmer will round out your field. So that brings us to our post-race interviews. And the first driver that we're going to pull in here is your 3rd place driver, Philip Brewer. And the 44, I can tell you one thing's for certain. You had something for him there with that 9 to go restart, but it seemed like that second time around on the green-white checkered, you just didn't get it going in time and lost a little ground. It was difficult to get the pass.
Yeah, it was a bad restart second time around. Couldn't really catch back up. But yeah, that first restart, that was pretty fun. I know I was pinching the crap out of him, but that was the only way to stay beside him. Pinch him as much as I can.
Well, you guys put on an excellent show there for the lead, side by side for what seemed like an eternity. You guys went around this place probably 7 to 8 miles, touching doors, and I thought for sure something was going to happen. It ended up happening in the back of the field. You guys, for the most part, were pretty clean.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Dakota's a good racer. I trust him. It's the only reason I'd race him that close.
And so for the 44 here tonight, you started in the top 5. You found yourself running up there most of the day. How was this truck handling? I know here in the nighttime, this track a little more forgiving on the tires, but how did it feel from your perspective?
Pretty good. I mean, it just stuck about 15 laps to a run, start to lose the right front. Kind of like how the truck used to handle, but I liked it that way. So it was fun.
Well, Philip, we've had you up here in the V-Speed booth previously, and would like to announce that, World Cup, throw that out there. Maybe you could flex a little bit. I know you get a podium and you're back up here in the booth, but anybody you'd like to shout out?
I'll shout out my boy Dave, who's watching today.
All right, Philip, we appreciate your time. Thank you, and congrats on the 3rd place finish. We'll look forward to seeing you week number 8.
Thank you.
Philip Brewer, 3rd place finisher here tonight from Kansas Speedway. That brings us on to our 2nd place finisher, Morgan Cook. And Morgan, another runner-up here tonight, but you know where you're not runner-up anymore. You have officially, you're going to take over that points lead after tonight. And I know that without the laps led, I know it was frustrating. You've been up front a lot, and you've seen the lead right in front of you there on that restart. Take us through that last couple laps.
Yeah, the last few laps. So got the caution with, I think it ended up being 10 to go, and I restarted second. I was thinking, okay, might be able to get a good restart here, slide in behind Dakota. But the bottom line all night, those top 2 cars could just drive away from second place. Happened on every restart tonight. And just ended up falling back to 3rd behind Philip and Dakota there. And they were leaning on each other really hard. And I was just kind of hanging back a little bit because I'm like, these guys are going to turn each other. I have no doubts about it. Just about did a couple times and just kind of hung back there. And then the caution came out again. Restarted third, and same thing as the last restart. 2 cars on the bottom, drove away, and I threw everything I could have at Dakota without driving through them. Was trying to do a top to bottom move out of turn 3 on the last lap, and it didn't quite stick to the bottom the way I needed it to. Got to his back bumper at the start finish line, but that's not the front bumper, so not quite enough.
Yeah, we saw you there just on the hanging on that right rear quarter panel, 7/100ths of a second. I know you've been part of many close finishes here on V Speed. Actually, I believe the closest finish amongst the top 4 at a Talladega, that comes to mind. I'm sure that probably in your history books as well. But tonight here, you take over the points lead. You have an excellent day. I know you got back there deep in the field with some strategy that didn't pan out, but anybody you'd like to shout out here tonight?
Well, gotta talk about Adam Bridges, of course. We're all running these paint schemes tonight, to honor him. He passed away recently, so that's unfortunate to hear. Shout out to his dad Adam, who's watching this broadcast, and I'm sure appreciates all of the different paint schemes. I think there had to be like 18 of the same paint scheme out there tonight. Made it very difficult to tell who was who, probably for you as well. But great showing from VRX. Got to thank Teresa and everyone involved here, Stanners, for doing what they do, putting this VRX World Discord together, the Czech Championship, the World Series, everything, or World Cup, sorry, everything that they're a part of, and then the admins tonight, Tony Richards for being race control, appreciate her, and and obviously V Speed as well for doing what you do and keeping me employed and all that, and things are good.
Well, Morgan, we look forward to you. Got plenty of shows there. You got BSRL, you've got the Racing Revolution. I know I'm sure I'm missing at least one of them.
QSR, Original Rebels Racing League. Yeah,
Yep.
4 starting next week.
There you go. So you guys will get to hear Morgan Cook plenty up here in the booth. But Morgan, we appreciate you coming up here for this post race, and we look forward to seeing you week 8 in the Track Champion Series.
Yeah, let's keep it going the right direction.
New points leader, second place here tonight in week number 7, Morgan Cook. Finally, that brings us to our first time winner of the season. Dakota Floyd in the number 24 is victorious. You said what you were going to do. You held it wide open. You also held the bottom line, and that's pretty much the key here in these final 2 laps that got you the victory.
Yes, and I'm super glad that my tires were not a melted mess right before those green-white checkers started. So I'm really happy it stuck to the white line, because if it didn't, I was going to hold it wide open anyway.
Yeah, we watched you and Philip Brewer. I mean, you guys made everything but a wreck out of it. You guys made door contact. You were side by side for 8-9 miles. It just continued on and continued on. Do you think that battle would have kept going all the way to the checkered flag?
Oh, I absolutely imagine so. Outside of being used as a guardrail in the corner, I think it was a good battle after all things said and done. Yeah, it would have been, because there was going to be no tire difference after 10 laps, so it was just a matter of who stuck forward better and who comes out victorious.
Well, Dakota, you come in here tonight, you had a teammate start up on the pole. Not a great day for him. You have your teammate right behind you, Morgan Cook as well. That John Sanu falls out of the top 5 there towards the end, and then it's you, Brewer, Cook. Did you kind of expect that, or was this one of those races where John Sanu took the pole and maybe something different could have happened?
John definitely had the speed up there. When we were on that long green flag run at the start of the race, he definitely had the pace to hold his own. It's just unfortunate he got caught up in a wreck, but I definitely think he'd be battling us for the win, without a doubt in my mind.
Well, with that, Dakota, you are victorious officially here in the Track Champion Series. You're going to add your name to that list. It's a very small list, mind you. I believe we only have 4 or 5 drivers that are on that list now, and so anybody you'd like to shout out for tonight's victory?
Well, first and foremost, I'll shout out the team. Really good showing. I would have been even better if John didn't have his wreck earlier, but he held on and still gave it all he could, so shout out to the team for sure. Shout out VRX, putting on another awesome week of racing. And also shout out VRX for putting together these paint schemes for Addison and his family. Prayers and condolences go out to those guys, and I know his father's watching, so we're all definitely thinking about you guys, and you're in all of our hearts. So just keep that in mind. And once again, thanks for the broadcasting. As always, Bradley, it's always good to watch, and V-Speed is awesome, as always. And shout out to everybody watching and supporting week in, week out, whether it be VRX or anything else. You guys are awesome. And I want to shout out, of course, everyone that supports me and the sponsor that I've been running. I know he doesn't pay us for these leagues, but he pays us over in WFO, so it's still worth a shout out for DMS's radio station, 121.4 Rig Radio. He's a great guy and puts on a great show too. So I think that's all I got.
We appreciate that. Dakota Floyd, congratulations on the victory, and a shout out over there to WFO and those guys. Yeah, I have to tune in. It's been a minute since I've caught some of their broadcasts, but I know that they're back to 3 days a week again. So
nope, only 2 still.
Only 2. Only 2.
But the racing has been phenomenal. I couldn't ask for anything better.
You let me know if they ever go back to Mondays. I might get in on that. But Dakota, congratulations, and we'll see you week 8 in the B car.
Absolutely, Bradley. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
So there he is, Victor, here tonight from Kansas Speedway. It was another great show here for the Track Champion Series. Tune in next week. We'll go racing again. Same venue, same format, same time of day. Track Champion Series. Gonna bring you the full schedule. It's B-Car, September 27th. And to round off the season, October 4th, the Generation 6 NASCAR Cup Series will come here, the final race, and we will crown our track champion, who can master every combination of what Kansas Speedway has to offer. Find out at 9 p.m. Eastern Time here on V-Speed. For everybody in the Track Champion Series, MTR Superior Performance Admin Box, VRX, Benjamin Richards, the mastermind behind putting this together, Teresa Spiker, Rob Stander's out there, Brian Hennings, everyone that put this together, Greg Spiker as well, and all the admin team. For Adam Baker in the background here at V-Speed and all the things that he does, making this stream look good. Our other producers, Eddie Smith, Morgan Cook, Logan Brokeld, and Christian Hill. This is Bradley Cooper telling you to have a great rest of your weekend. We're off this weekend. No Sunoco, no SNR. We'll see you back live on Monday for BSRL. Until then, take care, everybody.